What state of energy are you currently living in? And is this the state you want to make decisions from, that you want to grow your life from? Because the state you're in creates the story of your life. Welcome to Intuition Unlocked, the podcast empowering empathic women who feel misunderstood, overwhelmed, or disconnected from their intuition, begin to trust their sensitivities, find inner clarity, and show up with embodied, unstoppable confidence in their daily lives. I am your host, Olivia Ashley, an empath and intuitive, and I am so happy you're here. Welcome back to Intuition Unlocked. It's Olivia here, and today we're talking about something that's been very alive in my own body and reflections lately, which is how to protect your energy without isolating yourself. Because while it's completely human to want to pull back when things feel like too much, I believe and I feel that right now many of us are being asked not to disappear, but to stay more present in a new way. So in this episode, we're going to explore why isolation can feel protective, but often creates stagnation and disconnection. How sometimes it's not protection you need at all, but a shift in your energy and state. And how intuition, creation, and connection can actually fortify you instead of drain you during times when isolation feels tempting. This really isn't about pushing through anything. It's not about bypassing your sensitivity either. It's about learning how to stay open and safe in your body and energy without tuning out life. So we'll get right into it. I find that there's something important about the moment we're living in right now. So many I'm speaking to, especially the sensitives, intuitives, empaths, mothers, are exhausted by the emotional tone of the world. I think we can see that everywhere. There's polarization, there's noise, there's constant input, and heaviness and uncertainty that never seems to fully settle for us. And when your system is wired to feel and sense and notice, it doesn't take very long before everything starts to feel like too much. The overwhelm turns into anxiety. Anxiety turns into shutdown, or even hypervigilance for control. And so, of course, your body tries to protect you. It starts to pull you inward. It encourages withdrawal and sometimes even numbing or disassociating or redirecting your attention to what feels safer and more manageable versus being on and open to everything going on. And for a time, this instinct makes sense. It works. It feels good. But here's the part we don't always talk about. When protection turns into chronic isolation, we lose something essential because we become less relational, less creative, less connected, and less alive. We start to move into survival instead of participation with the world around us. And what I feel deeply is that right now, this moment in time actually requires more connection of us, not less. But it's not forced connection, not over-giving, but a grounded, regulated, embodied presence. And that's what I really want to talk about today. Because you, in your intuition and your nervous system regulation, your compassion, are part of how a new way of being gets anchored into this world. When you disappear completely, something vital goes missing because your presence, your energy matters to the collective and those around you. And personally, I know this pattern really well. For a long time, and even sometimes now, when life overwhelmed me, I truly believed I was protecting my energy by pulling away. When things pushed me emotionally, mentally, energetically, I'd withdraw. I'd ghost friends. I would delay responding, put off responsibilities, and most importantly, my ideas and my own heart and self. I would stay home and avoid because it felt safer than being seen. And for a while, the pulling away brought relief. There was quiet. There was less stimulation, less going on for me to worry about or think about. But slowly, something else crept in. A stagnation in myself. A low-grade anger and frustration in my body and emotions. And a sense of disconnection from myself, most importantly, but also from others and my creativity. I stopped creating and started existing. I stopped responding to the world and started hiding. And that wasn't my true essence. It wasn't my true self. I wasn't living anymore. I was just existing. And eventually I had to get honest with myself and really unroot the cause, because isolation wasn't actually protecting my energy like I thought it was. It was disconnecting me from it. And that honesty opened the door to a deeper realization. Sometimes what you think is a need for protection can actually be a need for a shift in your state of being. Because when you're depleted, anxious, discouraged, or overwhelmed, or anywhere in between, your nervous system is leading you. Your fight-flight is leading you. And from that contracted, withdrawn state, the pulling away feels logical, even wise to your body. But that same state, if it perpetuates, also narrows your perspective, will reinforce fear-based stories, and can convince you that shrinking is the only option, that procrastination feels good, that avoidance is the best way. But contraction breeds more contraction. Can you feel that? It's a cycle that fuels itself. And knowing that, let me ask you this to see where you're at. What state of energy are you currently living in? And is this the state you want to make decisions from, that you want to grow your life from? Because the state you're in creates the story of your life, and story creates experience. When you're in a contracted state, that story often will sound like, I can't handle this. It's too much. I need to disappear. But when you shift into a more embodied, regulated, expansive state, heart open, even slightly, a different story becomes available. And that's where energy work becomes incredibly practical. Everything is energy. And you, as a being of light with a nervous system in form, actually have influence over your state. So some things that can shift your energy, which aren't just surface level, they're physiological and intuitive, are movement, music, sunlight, breath, power poses, purposeful action, gratitude, and even giving. These aren't just feel-good tools. They help move you out of survival and back into your body where your soul lives, your energy lives, your safety lives. And these actions help override that fight-flight state. They move you more into a physiological response of openness, of peace, of readiness, of hope. And from that place, when you're more open and expanded, you get to choose. Who am I going to be here in this state? And what story do I want to lead from now? What experiences am I going to create and have? Uncovering this information from that state is powerful. And while we talk about this, I want to be the first to say that I can understand when you need to pull away, when your body, yourself, everything inside you is on fire and in that fight flight, and you need to rest first. I truly am the first to say rest matters. I talk about this often, the slowing down, the reconnection, because we don't get enough of that. The gentleness matters, the regulation matters. However, I'm really learning that growth matters too. And sometimes the self-care, the pulling away, the isolation becomes a way to stay small, a way to avoid the discomfort of being seen, expressed, or expanded, and avoid the doing, the being a part of everything that can often feel too much. Yet we swing the pendulum so far towards softness sometimes that we lose our momentum, that we lose the way. We start to numb instead of integrate. We soothe ourselves instead of leaning into evolution. And the truth is, growth will feel uncomfortable at times. Yet growth rooted in your intuition, in embodiment and connection, in a state of being that feels open and grounded, will not drain you. It's going to strengthen you. And the goal isn't to rest or expand, isolation or connection. The goal is learning how to hold both. Be sensitive and powerful, rested and visible, protected and connected. Do you see the shift here? And this is where I see our relationship to the unseen becoming essential. Because when you trust in something larger than yourself, you are no longer holding life alone. And this is so important in those moments that you're wanting to pull away or you're feeling overwhelmed. Connection to the unseen doesn't make you passive or even woo-woo or weird. It makes you supported. It makes you connected to everything around you. It expands your perception beyond what's happening at the surface, which many of us are avoiding or have forgotten about. It helps remind you that you are part of a larger field, this current of intelligence, energy, and life moving through everything. You are both a wave in this current and a miracle unto yourself. And when you open to this knowing, whether it's through prayer, energy work, intuition, spirit, higher consciousness, psychicness, something strengthens in you. I promise you that. Because instead of shielding yourself from your life, instead of pulling away from it, you start to let yourself be held within it, and you take a perspective from a grander place. It has more meaning to it. Instead of shielding yourself from life, you let yourself be held within it. You step into the awareness of where you are in space, of what surrounds you, of the subtle energies wanting to connect all the time, of the signs and synchronicities being pushed to you always. And from this place, you can ask for clarity, for protection, for guidance beyond your own effort. And this kind of trust doesn't close your energy. It's going to anchor it. An anchored energy can stay present even in chaos. It allows you to meet the world with resilience instead of the armor that you want to protect yourself with. It's not about losing that armor or being completely wide open. Again, it's about that balance of somewhere in between, of knowing what you need, of putting your shields up when necessary and letting them down in the other moments. And once you have this support and gained this wisdom, it gives you a grounded connection. And from there, creation naturally follows. And I bring creation into this conversation because I see it as one of the most powerful ways to protect your energy without isolating. Creation is relationship. It connects you to everything. It puts you in flow, brings you back into your body, into your why, your knowing. When you create, you get to move from rumination into engagement, from anxiety into flow, and from fear into expression. Creation gives your energy direction. And a lot of the times when you're overwhelmed and wanting to pull away, it's because your energy is discordant, it's swirling, it's all over the place. It doesn't have a direction. Focused creation gives you that anchor, gives you that direction as well. And to be a creator, to access that within you, doesn't mean you have to be an artist or a writer or a genius or expert in something. Creation can be a conversation, a choice, building something, expressing a truth, showing up differently. No matter how you choose it, it's going to replenish you because isolation drains, stagnation drains, disconnection drains. Creation offers replenishment. It offers a direction for your energy and a container to follow. Maybe some of this resonates, maybe some of it doesn't, but no matter what, be mindful not to confuse energetic protection with avoiding life or your dreams or other people, simply because they challenge you. We are living in a time where disagreement feels unsafe, and when we shut down expression and creativity completely, we start to lose our shared humanity. So you don't have to absorb everything or agree with everything, but you also don't need to wall yourself off to be safe. Protection doesn't require isolation. It requires more discernment, and discernment lives within you. It's something you can find. And with this, I want to leave you with a simple practice, something you can return to anytime the urge to withdraw arises. If you can close your eyes or just soften your gaze or tune into your breath. Bring your attention into your body, noticing what's there, the gentle rhythm of your breath, the subtle energy around your field. Take a moment to tune in to your heart or to your inner truth. And from that space, ask yourself, where does this feeling that wants me to isolate live? Don't analyze, just notice. Place your hand on that space. Name it. What does it feel like? You can give it a color or a shape. Breathe into it. And then ask it, what does this feeling want me to know? Let it show you what's there. And once you grasp that, ask, what do I need most right now to help shift this feeling toward the light, to step back into sovereignty and empowerment? Once again, notice what comes forward. And you can pause it here if you want to take more time with this. So often, the answer to our problems, our overwhelm, our uncertainty isn't disappearance. It's movement. It's a shift in state. It's expression. It's in support and the truth within yourself. When you can start to listen instead of run from things, your energy begins to move. You start to fortify a connection with yourself, and your energy shifts. And from that energy shift, your state shifts. And remember, from your state shifting, your story can shift and your experience from there can be shaped. So if you've been isolating lately, I ask you to hear this with kindness. You are not wrong. You are not weak. You are human, but you don't have to disappear to be safe. Your energy does not need to be hidden. If anything, in this time, we need it to be more anchored, expressed, trusted, and shown to the world. We need you. The world actually does not need less of you, no matter those fears or worries or overwhelm. Use this message as a spark to reawaken a new state of being, a new momentum within you, because we need you to hold the light in a new way. So instead of asking how to protect yourself from everything, shift your narrative and start asking, how can I stay connected to myself, to life, and to what's guiding me without abandoning my sensitivity? The answer to this is where your power lives. Thank you so much for being here and for listening. I'm grateful to you all, and I'm so in love with this community and what we're building. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with one friend or leave a rating and review to share your gratitude. Thank you again for listening. I'm sending you so much strength and love and support in this time. Thank you for joining me on Intuition Unlocked. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of insight, guidance, or intuitive inspiration. To dive deeper into our community and get access to exclusive content, head to my website at www.olivia-ashley.com and subscribe to my newsletter. You can also connect with me on Instagram at wildlyolivia for daily inspiration and updates. Remember, your intuition is your superpower. Trust it, nurture it, and let it guide you. Until next time, I'm Olivia Ashley, and I can't wait to connect with you again.